Hello everyone, this is the Vivi, and I have the model number this time, Z8, like the infinity symbol, Z8. This is now a discontinued model. Vivi let me know that the Z9 is the one that is, I don't know if they said it's now in place of this one, but it's the one they were suggesting to me if I liked the Z8. This video today is I'm just kind of sharing my thoughts on what I'm seeing. I'm going through this whole bike, every part of the electrical system, all the plugs, all the screws and bolts. I'm going to try to just do kind of, I guess you can call it a safety check. And so what we have here, without going into too much detail of why that is, well, I'll just tell you, there's been a couple crashes on this bike. Really bad crashes. So bike's doing good though, and this is actually, I'll go ahead and show you, since we're here, why I like these rims so much. Because I was mentioning in some of the previous videos that I found out the name. They call these one-piece rims, one-piece alloy rims. Now on motorcycles, when I looked at some videos, some of you may have seen that I made a playlist recently. I didn't see anything on bicycles yet, so I'll have to keep looking on comparing one-piece rims to spoked rims. And this is a spoked rim right here. This is an example of a spoked rim. But on motorcycles, I saw that they were saying that when you crash on these, they usually can't be fixed, and it sounded like they were saying the spoked ones are easier to fix. I would have to watch those videos again. But just sharing my own personal experience on bicycles, whenever I've crashed, and this bike has been through 2 significant crashes, okay, as of recently, and I mean significant, the wheels still turn very well. Okay, some other parts were damaged, but the wheels still spin. And I'm going to show you, and this is my experience too, is that the wheels, I have not bent one of these rims myself yet. I'm going to spin this right now. You see how true that is? I think that's the word we use, true. This has been through a significant crash at full speed. Full speed for this bike is 20 miles per hour. And it was at 2 different 20-mile-per-hour collisions. That front wheel turns perfectly, and on the spoked wheels, in my experience, when I've had similar crashes, the wheel was always bent bad, like this. It was bent, or they call it tacoed, where it's like looks like a taco, just completely bent. So I'm just speaking from my own experience. And the back wheel as well. Let's spin the back wheel. Let's power this up. We're just going to look at the back wheel now and see if that spin is true, or what that means is, or what I mean when I say that is it bent? Is it significantly bent? Let's see. If you look at the rim, I see the tire is not perfectly seated on the rim, but if you look at that rim, that to me is a durable rim. That wasn't full speed. I was just spinning the wheel to show that that wheel is still straight. And I have never experienced that with a spoked rim. That's why when I bought this bike, this is the Juliet. It has a 60 amp hour capacity battery. The first question I asked the company was, can I get the rims in the one-piece alloy? I do not want these rims. That's my personal preference. Everyone has their personal preference. In my experience, my personal experience is what helps me to make that decision, to make that request. And they said at this time that was not available, and I said, please let me know right away if there's a way to switch these rims to a one-piece alloy rim, because I prefer that. Okay, going back to the Vivi Z8, which is a discontinued electric bike now. I think if you want something similar to this, you're not going to get the suspension, but if you want suspension, if you can find a Fido, F-I-I-D-O, L, like love, L2, the number 2, that looks just like this. It looks almost identical in every way. Fido, F-I-I-D-O, went to they removed the suspension off the front and the back on their newest model, which is called the Fido L3. So that's L like love, and then the number 3. And I prefer suspension, even though I know that probably adds a little bit of weight. I want suspension. I like suspension. So anyway, this is my experiment bike. This will be my parts and experiment bike, because it's been crashed so bad. And I don't think it'll ever be the same, but that's okay, because it's just for doing experiments with. So everything's kind of out of alignment. The frame's bent a little bit. I love that the wheels are still good, but the frame is bent. You know, the frame's bent, and the wheels still spin true. Those are some strong rims. So Vivi, you guys did a great job there. I don't know what those rims are made of, but they are very, very strong. You saw me spin those wheels, and they are true. And this bike fell at least, I would say, between 6 and 10 feet, or between 6 and 15 feet approximately twice, with a full speed hard impact. So we won't go into the details today. Maybe someday that'll be good material for a book. Or maybe in the community area to share thoughts there of the YouTube channel. But anyway, right now, I just wanted to share that these rims, I like these. When I look for an electric bike, I look for that. That's one of the preferences I have. I found out that Rad bikes, R-A-D, that's like Robert, Apple, David, Rad bikes. They make a couple models that have regenerative braking or electric braking, and I really like electric braking. I like the way that feels on the scooters. I've had that on the scooter there. You can see right there is a Nami Viper scooter, and that has really great regenerative braking. And then in here you can see there's a Dualtron Thunder and a Dualtron Storm. Those both have adjustable regenerative braking, which I would love on an electric bike. A lot of people have said it can't be done, but Rad bikes already did it. And there are some electric bikes that have that. So I don't know if the people that say it can't be done just aren't aware of that, or if when someone says it can't be done, it just means they don't prefer it because it adds a little bit of drag, is what's being said, that it doesn't spin as freely, the wheel, when you have that. But I've also read that there's ways to, how do I say this, to reduce the resistance when the wheel is free spinning. So it sounds like there are some options, and I don't know if Rad Bikes has done that or not. But what else? Well, I forgot. I think the reason I made this, I apologize, I'm a little bit tired right now. I think the reason I made this video was just to point out the rims and to say that this bike has been discontinued. I was told that by Vivi Bikes, because I asked them, when is this bike coming in again? When is this bike going to be in stock? And at first they said between 30 and 60 days. And then I asked them a few more questions. I don't know if it was a few weeks later or a month later. And then I also asked, how is it looking for this bike as far as being in stock again? And they said this bike's been discontinued, and to look at the Z9. So this is called the Z8. And I like it because I consider this a medium-sized bike. I'm going to call the Juliet bike behind me, and I think that's the company is pronounced Eahora, E-A-H-O-R-A, I think, which means now. So I think that means electric now. That's my interpretation. But I would consider like a larger bike or a medium large bike, and this is, I would consider a medium bike. Anyway, have a great day, and just wanted to share my thoughts with you. Oh no, I know, I just remembered there was more I wanted to say to you. There was more that I wanted to say to you. We're going to cover something right now. I have no idea what this video is going to be called, but I wanted to point out that this electric bike has a 20 amp hour battery, which to me is like the minimum. I could buy a bike that has smaller than a battery of 20 amp hours, but I prefer a larger capacity battery. And 20 amp hours is, to me, it's a really nice capacity. They're calling it a 48 volt. Okay, so they're calling it a 48 volt 20 AH, 20 amp hour. Okay, now I know that when it's fully charged, let's take a look at the charger here. When it's fully charged, it's saying it charges at what? Output 54.6 volts right here. Okay, this is part of the reason I made this video today. I just wanted to show you guys. You know, when you study a lot about voltage and imagine that your voltage needs to match, right? So output is 54.6 volts at 2 amps. The amps is how, to me, how fast it's going to charge, right? So this is charging at 2 amps, which for this bike takes many, many hours. But here it says 48 volts, right? So why does this say 48 volts and why does the charger say 54 volts? I don't have the answer to that question, and I've read experts and professionals explaining that, and some things when they're explained to me, they just still don't make sense. So I don't know if we're calling this nominal voltage, but what does that mean? Nominal for me is 54 volts. My batteries are always fully charged. So that's my normal or nominal, right? So is it 48 volts nominal and 54 volts fully charged? I don't know. What I'm saying right now is, after having studied hundreds of thousands of hours into electricity, the origins of energy and electricity, the uses of energy, how we use energy, how the universe uses energy, particle physics, electrodynamics, just reading lots and lots of material on different theories of what we think energy is doing and what we think we're doing with energy. I just wanted to say that something as simple as the voltage of the battery and the voltage of the charger and the voltage of the controller, which is the motor controller, right? This delivers our power from the throttle, from the accelerator. You know, from the battery, right, to the accelerator, to the controller. And I might be saying that in the incorrect order. But let me show you this controller, right? This is the controller that came with this electric bike. And now this is saying, what does this say? Battery voltage. Okay, let's look at this, right? To me, things should match, right? Now, why isn't this, what is this saying? Brushless motor controller. There's the model. There's the, that number you can look up, and that would probably give us specifications if you look that up. So let me get a close-up of that so you can look that up if you want to. What do we have here? It says battery voltage is 36 volts. Well, we know that that's not a 36 volt battery, not even close, right? That's a 48 volt battery. So why is the controller saying it's 36 volts? Cutoff voltage is 29 volts. Current limit is 15 amps. Display, what's this say? Display meter LED. So I don't know if, let me think about this. I don't think I've ever ridden the bike until it turned off. But would it turn off? Would the voltage cut off to protect the battery, or would it discharge it too much? I don't actually know. And I don't know if you know or what your thoughts are about that. But feel free to make videos in response to this video if you wish, and I'll see your videos. I have comments turned off because I'm really, really focused on what I'm learning and what I'm thinking about. And the comments, as wonderful as it is and inspiring as it is to hear from all of you, I am very focused on what I'm doing, so I'm focusing on sharing my thoughts and my videos and what I'm thinking about. But I'm just thinking about what I'm thinking about, and I'm not thinking about the comments at this time. I have thousands of wonderful comments from all of you, and I want to thank every single one of you for your very inspirational and thoughtful comments. And to let you know that you are this channel. What I mean is you make this channel possible because you're interested. We have a shared interest here in learning, right? So we're all in this together. That's the way I see it. Okay, everyone, so just wanted to share that. You know, we have 48 volts here, 36 volts here on the controller, and we have 54 volts on the charger. And so we have 3 different voltages, 1, 2, 3. And this, somehow this works. I bought it this way. So it's interesting. Anyway, I want you to hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye everyone.